This is another Star Wars Armada Explained. I'm Karnak. Today we're going to go over an objective. I had a special request from the community, like, hey, can you start doing objective cards? And I was like, well, I plan to do objective cards, but they really wanted me to do a few of them, and so I took some requests and I'm going to do some objective cards. So the first one I'm going to look at is Advanced Gunnery. And Advanced Gunnery objective card, it reads, and this is for the attack, the red cards. It says, set up. After deploying fleets, each player chooses one of his ships to be an objective ship, starting with the first player. Special rule. The first player's objective ship may perform each of its attacks from the same hull zone. It cannot target the same hull zone or squadron more than once per round with that hull zone. The second player's objective ship may perform each of its attacks from the same hull zone, and it may do so against the same targets. End of game. The fleet point cost of a destroyed objective ship is doubled. Do not double the cost of the upgrade cards. There's one clarification for this card. It reads, if either player's objective ship is equipped with gunnery team and attacks from the same hull zone during its activation, that ship cannot target the same ship or squadron more than once during its activation. If either player's objective ship is equipped with slave turrets, that ship cannot attack more than once per round. So Advanced Gunnery essentially allows you to attack multiple times, but there are some cards that absolutely limit it. So before I go over how the card works, I'm going to go over those interactions real quick about what cards prohibit Advanced Gunnery. So let's go through the example of Advanced Gunnery. You get it. Say you've got this big bad Star Destroyer and it's got gunnery teams equipped. It's got a bunch of other cards equipped. Well, if you make that ship your objective ship, you are still forced to abide by your gunnery team card, which remember it says you can attack from the same hull zone more than once per activation. That hull zone cannot target the same ship or squadron more than once during that activation. So remember that buff that Advanced Gunnery gives the second player where it says you can make two attacks against the same target regardless if it's a ship or squadron. Gunnery teams has the cannot word in there, and that cannot is an absolute in this game. That is absolutely specifically defined by the developers. It says if you've got this card equipped and you put Advanced Gunnery on that ship, the gunnery team is what takes precedence. So typically, you don't want to put Advanced Gunnery on a ship that has a gunnery team card. I mean, you still can, but you're not going to get any benefit from Advanced Gunnery then on that ship. And that goes in hand with slaved turrets. Slave turrets says you cannot attack more than once per round. While attacking a ship, add one red die to your attack pool. So again, even though Advanced Gunnery allows you to make two attacks against the same target, Slave Turrets specifically says you can only make one attack, period. And that attack can either be against a ship or against, however many squadrons are in the arc that you're shooting from. Again, those cards take precedence over the objective. Let's go over the objective itself now. Now, for Advanced Gunnery, it's about the timing. Make sure you're getting the timing right. So it does say after deploying fleets, each player chooses one ship to be the objective ship, starting with the first player. This means, for example, Admiral Radis, you know how he can tuck a ship into hyperspace? That is done before fleets are deployed. Meaning, the ship that is in hyperspace, you cannot put Advanced Gunnery on the ship in hyperspace because of, again, the timing. Radis timing is you have to pick a ship before you deploy, and again, Advanced Gunnery is you pick a ship after you deploy. Another thing too is make sure that you are picking the objective ship with the first player. Remember, it's the first player who decides first. This is the ship I'm picking, and remember, you do need to put technically, you need to put an objective token on that ship. That's how you mark that is the objective ship. Although most players usually don't do that because hopefully we've got good memories, right? And then again, after the first player has declared, okay, this is my objective ship of Advanced Gunnery, then the second player picks his ship of Advanced Gunnery. So that is the timing for that. And again, for Advanced Gunnery, I just want, I hit the wrong button there. I want to make sure I'm going over a few things. So a lot of people think with Advanced Gunnery, I'm going to clone this ship real quick. We're going to put 2 Star Destroyers out here. We're going to flip this one around. And then I'm going to mark this one so we can tell the difference between the two. As soon as Vassal stops deciding he wants to chug there we go. Now we're going to mark up that ship. There we go. So we're going to say the yellow dot ship is the first player ship, and the non-dotted ISD is the second player's ship. So as the second player, remember you can make 2 attacks, pow, roll your first attack die, and blam, blam, and you do whatever you want with that. And then if you want to, again, as the second player, make your second attack, it can be against the same hull zone. And you can go, blam and blam again. Puts out a whole lot of damage against whatever it is you're trying to shoot at. And again, it doesn't matter if it's a double attack from the front, from the sides, from the rear. You can attack squadrons twice. Unless, of course, again, remember what cards you have equipped. Now, for the first player, so the first player can't do what the second player does. The first player, if he attacks out of the front hull zone to the front hull zone, he can make that attack, but then he can't attack that front hull zone again. This is where some things can get interesting. Again, some people miss out on this. So, for example, if you can see, if we turn this ISD, and this ISD was facing like this, so as first player, again, you can't attack the same arc, but you can shoot the front, and then for your second attack, you can shoot the side. Because again, it's not the restriction like what Gunnery Team has, which says you cannot shoot the same target again. This just says you just can't shoot the same hull zone. So that is a thing that rewards good flying. So if you can get your opponent in this position, the guy who's the second player, you pow him in the front, and then you pow him on the side, and you're doing essentially just as much damage as he has done to you, when he was just shooting you just twice of his front arc. So again, that is the interactions of Advanced Gunnery. Of course, if you feel like anything is an error, or if I got anything wrong, please be sure to let me know. Thanks for watching.